Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack and today we're going over our Game Week 30 team selection after a big double Game Week 29. If you guys are enjoying the FPL videos, drop a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and also have those notification bells turned on as well, as there's going to be plenty more FPL videos with plenty of blanks and doubles in the remainder of the season, so stay posted for those videos. And with that being said, let's jump into the team selection. So first of all, let's have a look at how this squad finished up in double game week 29. Overall, a pretty productive week for us. We did score a total of 128 points, but took a -8 hit to get in a few players. One of them was Harry Kane, who provided returns. De Gea was also another transfer in that provided returns, as was Harvey Barnes. He also picked up 9 points as well, so very happy with the transfers that we made this week. That's also sent us take a 140k green arrow. We were around 690k up to 550k. Pretty good game week for us. Obviously still a fair way off where we need to be at this point in the season, but of course 140k green arrow is always welcomed, and the team is really well set up for the remainder of the year in my opinion, especially after we go over the transfer that we're looking to make this week to set up the team for Game Week 30, and then how well the team can adapt to blanks and double game weeks in the rest of the year. Before we do that though, let's just go over the players. De Gea did produce a clean sheet in his second fixture just this morning, which was quite good. He picked up 8 points. I was tossing up between Martinez, Kepa as a couple of other options. Both of those players also recorded clean sheets in one of their 2 double game week fixtures, so it would have been much of a muchness at which goalkeeper I went for, but I'm pretty happy with De Gea, as not only was he a good option this week, he's also got a double coming up that's already locked in, and he also will be getting another double game week as well in the remainder of the season. So I think it's going to be good to have those Manchester United players, and by having Rashford and De Gea in already, I don't have to worry too much about getting an extra Manchester United or a couple more Manchester United players in. I think Luke Shaw's probably going to be the only other United player we look to go for. I've seen a couple of people go for Fernandes, but personally I'm not a massive fan of him. His positioning is just not quite close enough to the goal. He's playing quite far away, so he's just not getting as many chances as he was earlier on in the season. Looking to the defenders, wasn't too much joy around the defense. Obviously Trippier produced 14 points, but everyone's got him. Badiashile was a real concern with the team. It didn't play any minutes in each of his 2 fixtures in the double game week under the new management of Chelsea, so I'm not too sure about his minutes. Obviously Chelsea are looking to sign a new manager as well, so I'm not sure how that's going to play. It could potentially be Frank Lampard. I don't know if Lampard's going to prefer Badiashile for minutes or not. I just think it's good to get him out of the team, as I don't want a player that I'm on 50-50, even less certain that he's going to be starting. I need a nailed-on player, especially in the back end of the season. Henry couldn't provide a clean sheet in either of his 2 games. Brighton away and Manchester United away didn't provide a great chance for him to get clean sheets for Brentford, so I'm not too fussed there that he didn't produce any returns. But Estupinian, was good to see him get himself a clean sheet away to Bournemouth. Could have had himself an assist as well. Made an excellent cutback to the striker, but couldn't. The player couldn't convert the chance. Nonetheless, 7 points is still a good tally for Estupinian. Marcus Rashford as well. He was very impressive. I was tossing up between whether or not to captain him, March or Salah. March did outscore Salah, but Rashford was the highest scoring player in the middle of the park, so would have benefited the most from captaining him. Unfortunately, wasn't to be, but will still take his 12 points. Salah then blanked in the second fixture against Chelsea, but still 7 points, considering that his fixtures were Manchester City and Chelsea, is a decent tally. And Harvey Barnes was a player that I was really happy with. I opted to go for Barnes over Maddison, took the risk, and it paid off, as Maddison does have a pretty decent ownership inside the top 1 million managers. I wanted to mix it up, go for a differential play, and it did pay off, as Barnes scored an excellent goal, breaking down the wing, absolutely torching Ashley Young for pace. He terrorised him in that game, and he had a very well taken goal there as well. Solly March on captaincy produced 8, double up to 16. A bit annoyed that Matoma did get an assist in that second fixture against Bournemouth, and March couldn't produce anything, as he did have a couple of good chances to score and provide assists, but couldn't capitalise on any of these chances. Nonetheless though, the 2 players up top, very convincing. Watkins with 17, Tony with 11. Watkins is one of the main reasons why we took such a good green arrow this week. Really happy that I had Watkins for 4 or 5 5 weeks now he's been in the team, and he's been really, really good for us in most games. So happy to have him on the side. And then we did activate the bench boost as well. White, Odegaard, Kane, all providing returns on the bench. A bit frustrating, Arsenal lost a clean sheet with 10 minutes to go in their fixture against Leeds. Ben White and Ramsdale both would have picked up the extra 4 points, plus potentially some bonus. Unfortunately, that wasn't to be, but still a pretty good bench boost nonetheless. And so as we touched on, 128 points for Game Week 29, a good tally. We've seen a strong green arrow, and the team is pretty well set up for the rest of the season. So let's discuss some transfer plans and then have a look at our Game Week 30 team. So we do have one free transfer available coming into Game Week 30, and of course Badiashile Shield was one of the players that we were looking to get out of from the squad after he didn't get any minutes across his double game week. The main player that I'm looking to get in for him right now is Bowman. I think this is the best move to make. I don't want to get in Luke Shaw just right now, as by the time blank Game Week 32 comes around, I'm going to only have 10 players playing, and I'll have to take a hit to get someone else out to get the 11th starting player, and a lot of the other players that are blanking in Game Week 32 are players that I wouldn't necessarily want to transfer out of the team, as those are the Brighton assets, Slow March and a Stupinan, with 2 doubles still to go after Game Week 32. I don't want to get rid of those Brighton assets. Manchester United blank as well. Rashford and De Gea I definitely don't want to get rid of, as they've also got 2 double game weeks coming up. So I think getting Bowman in instead of Shaw is going to be the right decision, and we're going to double up on Newcastle defence for the next 2 to 3 game weeks, and then we can go back to Luke Shaw from Game Week 33 onwards, where Manchester United do have a really good fixed run to end the season with a couple of double game weeks, as we touched on. And by also getting Bowman in, we do have a bit more money in the bank, so we can easily afford a good upgrade from White to Shaw in the future, which is definitely a move we're looking to make, especially considering that Arsenal don't have any doubles for the rest of the year. So with that transfer in mind, let's have a look at our Game Week 30 team. As the goalkeeper, we've opted to go with De Gea over Ramsdale. Obviously, as you can see here, we've got triple Arsenal still. They're all facing Liverpool away this week. Not the best fixture, in my opinion, so I've dropped all 3 of those lads to the bench. Also, Stupinan does sit on the bench as well. I think De Gea's got a great fixture, though, in goals instead of Ramsdale. He's got Everton at home a lot better than Liverpool away. And we have opted to go for Botman and Trippier both starting against Brentford. That could also be a main talking point of the side in terms of a little team selection headache there, whether or not to go with double Newcastle against Brentford, or opt to go for one of either Stupinan or White starting against Spurs or Liverpool both away. Obviously Spurs and Liverpool away are slightly difficult, more difficult fixtures than Brentford away, but of course with a double up on any defence there is an extra risk there. If they don't pick up the clean sheet, then you've got 2 players blanking rather than just the one. And then in the same game as well, we are gone with Rico Henry. He's got Newcastle at home, so I'm hoping for a 0-0 draw in this fixture. I do think there should be some goals in this game though, so hopefully at least one of my defenders can pick up a clean sheet in this one. But at the minute, Bowman is starting against Brentford away, and I do think actually in Game Week 31 and 32 I could see a double up on Newcastle defence in our side occur more frequently, as Newcastle probably have better fixtures than a couple of other of my defenders in those few weeks, and especially with blank Game Week 32, I believe Newcastle playing Spurs that week. Not going to be ideal to have double Newcastle defence against Tottenham, but we're just going to have to go for it right now. I think it's the better decision, sets the team up a lot better for down the line. Of course, Newcastle have an extra double coming up, so by having the extra Newcastle player, that is advantageous, and then getting Luke Shaw in Game Week 33 gives us triple Manchester United with plenty of doubles to come. We've got double Newcastle with a few more doubles to come as well, so the team is fairly well set up for the remainder of the year. Let's have a look at the midfield picks. We've gone with Rashford, Salah, Barnes and March as the midfield. Odegaard dropped to the bench. He's got Liverpool away. Once again, another bit of a team selection headache, as Odegaard could easily start over Solly March there. Obviously March with a difficult fixture as well against Spurs away, but I'm just preferring the form of March in terms of goals and assist tally compared to Odegaard, as to why I've opted to start March in this position in midfield. Obviously Odegaard, a pretty good pick as well. He's coming off returns in Game Week 29 as well. But March, I think, has just been a bit more consistent over his last 5 to 6 game weeks. And that Brighton attack is firing in goals left, right and centre right now. So I think it's going to be good to have March in this team here. Harvey Barnes, of course, gets another start. He's got Bournemouth at home, a really, really good fixture. And Salah and Rashford, of course, aren't going anywhere after each of these players did provide goals in their double game week in Game Week 29. Salah with the harder fixture of Arsenal at home, so have actually handed the captain's armband to Marcus Rashford here. Kane also a pretty good option against Brighton at home. Watkins, to be fair as well, considering that the form he's in, could be a really good differential captain against Forest at home. I do expect goals for Villa in this game, and you couldn't really ask for a much better fixture from an attacking perspective at home than Nottingham Forest right now, especially considering the form that Ollie Watkins is in. So he could be a really good captaincy differential if I wanted to take a risk there with the captain's armband. But I think Marcus Rashford a really good option. Good to see him get back to his goal scoring ways after a few weeks of no goals for Marcus Rashford. He's returned to the goal scoring, and he was obviously on an incredible scoring run before he blanked for the last 2 to 3 games. So good to see him get back on the score sheet there. Hopefully he can pick up where he left off just a few weeks ago and go absolutely mental again. Provide a couple of goals for us on captaincy would be more than welcome. Looking at the other lads up top as well, Kane and Watkins we touched on, but Tony as well, he starts in the side. He's got Newcastle at home. Obviously I want the Newcastle clean sheet, but I got Tony as well. So of course if Brentford do score, I want Tony to get involved. But if Brentford don't score, of course, that will be very good for our team as well. Of course, Botman and Trippier should hopefully both pick up clean sheets in this one, assuming they both start. So that's pretty much how the team's set up for Game Week 30. Overall, pretty happy with how it's shaping up. Obviously not the best fixtures this week in terms of maximizing FPL points for players. But it's all about setting up the team for the rest of the year. As I touched on, double Newcastle to capitalise on their double later on in the season. With Luke Shaw coming in Game Week 33, I think that's the right time to bring him in. Triple Manchester United to end the year with 2 double game weeks for them. Obviously, Salah's got a double game week as well. I was thinking about going for a Liverpool defender, but I don't think that's going to be the right move. I just don't trust that Liverpool defence. Obviously, they were in good form in the last 5 to 6 weeks. They have recorded a decent amount of clean sheets, but just across the whole year, other defences have been more consistent, so I don't really want to go for that for that Liverpool defense. Of course, since they only have 1 double as well, not quite as tempting as those Manchester United defenders with 2 double game weeks. And then of course we've got triple Brighton. We will look to bring in Matoma as well, Game Week 33, along with Luke Shaw. Brighton do blank in Game Week 32, so I don't want to bring in Matoma just yet, but it's going to be Matoma in for Odegaard, Luke Shaw in for White down the line. I think those are going to be the right moves. We don't have to take any hits to make these possible either, as we can save transfers over coming game weeks, which is definitely the plan for us in Game Week 31 and 32. We'll easily be able to get in Matoma and Luke Shaw. Then we've got triple Brighton for Brighton doubles. They've got a few more to go. Manchester United, we've got triple up. They've got a couple more doubles to go, and we get rid of those Arsenal players that don't have any double game weeks for the remainder of the year. Salah's in there doubling as well. Watkins has been in really good form. He's not got many doubles, but he's been in good form, so I back him in the single game week fixtures. Kane, of course, as well, doesn't have many doubles, but he's a really good single game week player. So pretty happy with how the team is looking for the remainder of the season. Hopefully it can go well for Game Week 30 as well. Thanks for watching today's team selection for Game Week 30. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it informative. If you did, drop a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And make sure your notification bells are turned on, as we're going to upload lots more FPL content in the build up to blank Game Week 32, double Game Week 34, potentially double Game Week 36 and 37. There's going to be so much more in ways of FPL to talk about for the remainder of the year. So make sure you stay posted for that. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.